Alright, what's up guys? Coming on here with another Houston Texans video. Texans lose yesterday 30-17 to New York Giants. I was there at the game. It was a good atmosphere and stuff like that, but the whole way they played and stuff was pretty bad. So I had around like 7 hours total of driving yesterday, and way back home and way back to school. I had a lot of thinking to do, and I usually don't like rant videos, but I think I might have to go on a rant video during this one because yesterday just really showed how this team, if people play us certain ways, how this team just is going to be the rest of the year. And I feel like yesterday the Giants kind of gave the NFL other teams the blueprint in a way to beat us. And the blueprint pretty much is how we were last year. And if we can't beat that, then we're going to be the same as we were last year. So I'm going to start off with the offense. Offense to this week really wasn't that good. People can say, oh, we weren't that good because of Aaron Foster wasn't playing, but I don't think even if Foster was playing, he would have done as much as Alfred Blue did anyways. He had 13 carries, 74 yards. He had a good run. Besides that, the Giants were stuffing us all game. And then we had to go to the passing, and Fitzpatrick really isn't the greatest passer, so threw a couple picks, and they really didn't throw the ball down the field, which they did all last year. Like I said, the Giants did what everyone did against us last year. Once they stopped the run, then they knew we would have to throw it. And Schaub and Keenum last year had trouble throwing it, and now Fitzpatrick's in the same predicament that they were in. They threw the ball down the field. Twice they threw the ball down the field that was more than like 20 yards, with the catch of Demarius Johnson for a touchdown, and then that huge catch with DeAndre Hopkins, but then that was called back because of a illegal formation. But the way that people can keep blaming Fitzpatrick. Obviously, it's Fitzpatrick's fault. He's throwing interceptions, stuff like that. But he's doing more than Schaub has been doing for us last year. At least when he's under pressure yesterday, he could get away and like run around and at least make some plays, actually run for a couple yards, stuff like that. Schaub would get sacked right away. Even though he's getting bulk of the blame, I have to blame a lot on Bill O'Brien. He calls the same plays all the time. Calls bubble screens that never work, or screens in general, or receiver screens that don't work. Loves doing stretches and loves doing HB draws. And then they just do them when they shouldn't be doing them. There's twice on 4th down this game that they went for it on 4th and 1 and did a stretch and got stopped both times. Why don't you run a QB sneak or something like that? Fitzpatrick's mobile enough that he can get at least a yard or an inch. No, you do a stretch, which you know that you don't have a fullback, so you don't have anyone else help blocking, and then they stuff Alfred Blue in the backfield twice. Besides that, the second half they came out and they started running some spread and did some slants and some other like quick passes, and Fitzpatrick was thriving through that. Then we get all the way down the end zone and throws it right to Andre Johnson right in his hands and he drops it, and then we had to take a field goal. And then another drive after they got the missed field goal, or they didn't miss a field goal, went right through his hands. First down, we had a decent run. Then he threw a little dump off to Jay Prosh, he dropped it. And then he threw it to Andre Johnson next play, and he dropped it, so we couldn't get any points out of that. I just think this offense, without being able to run, it's going to be bad all year because they don't let Fitzpatrick throw it deep, and I don't think anyone trusts him throwing it deep either. I was sitting there yesterday, like the one pass he had to DeAndre Hopkins, it was more of a good catch than a good throw. He made a nice one-handed catch, but the throw was at least made it to him, I guess, in a point. Schaub couldn't even throw it that far, so. But if they're worried about him not being able to throw it far, that's why you got Ryan Mallett. People can say I'm over dramatic or overreacting to how bad Fitzpatrick played yesterday, but if you're worried about him not being able to throw it that far, that's why you got Mallett. Kid hasn't played at all, really. He's a veteran, even though he hasn't played. He's been around the league for a couple of years now. If you're worried about throwing deep balls and that Fitzpatrick can't make the throws, that's why you have Mallett. Fitzpatrick lacks throwing a good ball because he doesn't have enough strength. Mallett has the strength to throw a ball. If this team starts losing and starts getting on skids of losing consecutive games, maybe it's time they think of maybe we should put Mallett in. I don't know, give the kid a chance. You can't really say he sucks if he hasn't really got any playing time. Didn't really throw the tight ends at all, really. Garrett Graham had a couple of catches. Andre Johnson had a few catches. DeAndre Hopkins had a good game, but it didn't really matter because he didn't even have a touchdown. And we only had 2 touchdowns anyway, one to Demarius Johnson, and then Fitzpatrick ran one into the end of the game. I think we underutilized Demarius Johnson too. Instead of throwing a screen to Andre Johnson, who's not the fastest guy, why not throw to Demarius Johnson or something like that? Or they did a jet sweep, which would have been nice, but he tripped up in the turf, which obviously that's kind of his fault. But if they ran that more often and stuff, or maybe run a play action out of that, maybe it's more looks for Fitzpatrick. Also, they should probably use Fitzpatrick more for like read option or something. Do something. They need another wrinkle in this offense to make teams not so predictable. This offense right now is so predictable. We'll run, and then they know that after they stuff us a couple times, they're going to try to throw it, and they're going to all jump in coverage and pick him off. Obviously, he hasn't made the greatest throws, but they're waiting for him to throw the ball anyways. So maybe do add read option in the wrinkle. He's not the fastest quarterback, but he's fast enough that people didn't buy him, and he faked it to the running back, and they didn't respect him or just to contain him. He could actually run a good amount of yards. Derek Carr did us week 2. We didn't think he was going to run. He ran probably 4 yards on the field untouched. You need to add something to this offense to make it more dynamic. This run stretch stuff, if Foster's going to be hurt throughout the season because his hamstring injury ain't going away, if he's going to be hurt like this all year, people are going to stuff the box. They're not going to be that afraid of Fitzpatrick throwing the ball. Once they stuff Alfred Blue or Grimes or Ronnie Brown, then he's going to have to throw it. And they don't even take chances down the field, so it won't even matter. They don't do any double moves. They have 2 good receivers, and they don't do anything with them, which I don't understand. They have 3 viable tight ends. They don't use them that much. I don't know. I feel like they're too concerned about the running game right now. That once the running game doesn't work, you need to start passing it. Other teams that can't run the ball you have to make changes and start throwing the ball on the field, or you're not going to do anything. So that's all I have to say with the offense. The offense played so bad yesterday. Had some shines, but pretty much it was pretty bad the whole game. Besides the one drive that they scored the touchdown. Besides that drive, the whole rest of the game was pretty bad. Defense played all right, I guess. They gave up 30 points, but in a way, it could have been worse. Threw 3 picks right in our own zone. We're already in our own side of the field, so defense is obviously going to probably give up some points on that. They got the blocked punt, which they scored off of, and can't really give the defense too much grief for that. It was already on our 20, so. But where have been Brooks Reed, Whitney Merciless been this whole year besides week 1? And not even Merciless because he hasn't been there all year. Obviously, they have things on the stat sheet. They have a couple tackles a game, but yesterday when I was at the game, I didn't really see Brooks Reed and Whitney Merciless making that many plays. Hell, they might make a couple tackles in the running game, even though we got shredded the whole game. But they didn't make any pressure on Eli Manning. The only pressure we had the whole game was Wall had a sack like the first drive. Besides that, they pretty much double-teamed him and chipped him the rest of the game, so he didn't do anything after that, really. That pressured Manning at all. And then I remember during the 3rd quarter, I think, Andre Howe hit him once when he was throwing. Besides that, Eli was sitting there all game picking us apart. And I had a feeling this game was going to be a rough one for us because we always had struggled last couple of years against quarterbacks that are actually pretty good in the pocket, like Aaron Rodgers, Brady, Manning, Luck. We usually get shredded by those teams. So, and they're just not there. They don't without Clowney. People say, "Oh, you're giving too much credit to Clowney." He's another guy that's a big name. He can make plays. Week 1, Brooks Reed was making all these plays because he wasn't getting that much attention. They were all worried about Clowney and Watt. Now without Clowney, they're like, all right, we'll just double team Watt and chip him. Then you got Brooks Reed 1-on-1. He probably won't make that many plays. Whitney Merciless won't make that many plays. And where has Jarrell Powell been? I don't understand how this guy's playing. He hasn't made any impact this whole season. He's 300-something pounds, and he gets pushed around like he's 200 pounds. He doesn't make any difference in his defense. Maybe he's just playing now because Lewis Nix is hurt, but I don't know. People are saying, like, oh, he's a veteran. He knows Crennel's system. I don't care if he knows it. He no wonder he got beat out because he can't do anything. This guy's useless in the run game and the pass game. He's just a waste of a play on the field. Cushing had a lot of tackles, but nothing too didn't change the game really. He made a lot of tackles in the run game, but this D line hasn't done anything. So people can say, like, oh, we're going to straighten the run game because the linebackers aren't stepping up, but when the offensive linemen get right on our linebackers, they're going to run all over us all year. the defensive lineman can't grab some more offensive linemen or get more penetration. They're just going to go to the second tier and get all our linebackers. That's why Kendrick Lewis and Swearinger are usually one of the top tacklers on the team because they have to come up from the secondary and make tackles. Our secondary isn't that good at all. Jonathan Joseph got hurt yesterday. Kareem Jackson, oh my God, let me start about this guy. He can't do anything. He can't tackle. He can't cover anyone. You put him at first corner, second corner, even the nickel. He hasn't done anything. He got torched yesterday by Victor Cruz. It didn't even look like he was given any try at all to catch him. Luckily, Kendrick Lewis caught him. But, like, that is a grief that our secondary isn't that good. But another thing I realized yesterday, they blitz way too much on defense. They blitz Kendrick Lewis and Swearinger so many times that the DBs have to play further off the guy, so they just run a slant. There's no one over the top to get them, and then they're just going to go. Once you miss that one tackle on the safety or corner, there's no one else to get them. Because once you bring all the safety pressure, and they don't get to Manning or even pressure him, and he throws one underneath to a slant, and Kareem Jackson or one of those guys misses a tackle, there's no one else going to catch him because no one behind him. I don't know, this team's not looking that. It just reminded me too much of last season. We have defense is struggling in a way that they're on the field. This game in particular, they're on the field so much that you knew they were going to eventually give up points, and they couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback like they didn't last year. Special teams weren't really good at all. Got the block punt. Besides that, it's what it is. We didn't give up any returns or anything, but the block punt really didn't get us in the spot that we really need to be. Also, something I didn't understand, we went for it twice on fourth down, and one of them was in the second half, second quarter, and we were on our own side. I don't think we should have went for it. When we were down 17-10, when Fitzpatrick, before they blocked the field goal, or it was I think it was after they blocked the field goal, why wouldn't you go for it down 4th and 1? We were down by a touchdown. Just go for it at that point and run a QB sneak. Don't do this stupid HB stretch. That never works. I don't know. I feel like Bill O'Brien his offensive play calling is so conservative. It's ridiculous, and it's just so predictable. It's kind of like it's Kubiak offense right now. It's so conservative. It's so predictable, and everyone's going to start realizing how they're going to be able to stop our team, and then we're going to be like we were last year. It's one loss, but the similarities from last year. It's just starting to come back in my head, and I don't know. It's not looking too good right now. Hopefully, we can get the offense back to where it should be, add maybe some more wrinkles to the offense, take more chances on the field. You have two good receivers. I don't get why they don't throw it down the field more often. But hopefully do that. Maybe Clowney comes back sooner than he can, and the defense can start stepping up and making some more plays and rushing the quarterback better than they have. Besides that, this team, with trusting Fitzpatrick throwing the ball will be as bad or a little bit better than last year. You can't trust this guy to win games, really, because without running the ball, they're going to just drop in coverage and they're just going to pick them apart all game. So that's my video. Hopefully we can beat Buffalo next week. They're 2-1 like us. They've showed more promise throughout the season than we have, but it's anyone's game. I'll probably come on here Thursday or Wednesday both Thursday or Friday to make a video for preview for Buffalo, but I forgot to make a preview last week for the Giants game, but I don't know. I just had so much stuff going on. But hopefully this team can get their act together and finally win it. We'll just win one more game so we're better than last year, and hopefully see the mistakes that they made this game and not repeat what we did all last season. Besides that, let's go Texans.